Can commercial solar truly eliminate my company's electric bill? Solar is a great way to eliminate or neutralize your energy costs. Understanding how requires understanding a little bit about how billing works for commercial businesses. Essentially, your commercial utility bill is comprised of three components: generation, distribution, and a sort of flat customer charge. With solar, the way net metering works in Pennsylvania and similar states is that every kilowatt hour you generate over the course of the year is subtracted, whether self-consumed or exported, is subtracted from what you've consumed. And the generation costs for those kilowatt hours is no longer billed to you. So if you've produced 100% of your consumption from the solar energy system, you will not pay generation charges for any of those kilowatt hours, eliminating effectively that portion of your bill. The company will always pay your customer charge, which is a flat rate per month, and you will always have a utility bill, even if you're at 100% or more of your annual consumption in generation. The other component here is your distribution costs. Usually businesses have what's called demand charges, and the demand charge is a little bit harder to model with solar because it speaks to it's calculated based on peak power demand at certain times of the month for that facility or that meter. Solar can reduce but not fully eliminate typically these demand charges because your peak consumption and peak power draw may not be happening at the same time that the solar system is producing energy. Theoretically, if your peak consumption was happening in the middle of the night, those demand charges would still exist because that's the time of day where the solar is not generating energy and offsetting that peak power demand that your facility is making from the grid. So generation is a simple net metering, one-to-one elimination of your generation fees. The customer charge will always exist. The demand charges will be reduced but not eliminated typically. And ultimately, it depends on the system size and the offset percentage of your particular facility as to how much of your bill is reduced by the solar system. How should I financially evaluate whether a commercial solar system is a positive investment for my business? There's several different metrics and ways to think about commercial solar and its financial benefit as an investment for your business. One of the common, simplest ways to think about it is a payback period. If the certain solar system costs X amount, what is the period of time in which I'm going to recoup that investment in the cash savings or income that system has benefited me by? This is comprised of several things. Any government incentives, such as a tax credit or depreciation benefits from my federal income taxes, any state-based incentives, such as the SREC market and income I would receive from that, any utility rebates that my utility company may be offering, as well as ultimately your savings on electric, the net metering benefit and energy savings you're going to be realizing from the system over time. So when you add those things together on a cash flow table, you might have a payback of 3, 4, 5 years. With commercial, current climate, current environment, we have excellent paybacks with the incentives that exist and with the net metering benefits, especially when we factor in future inflationary pressures on the current cost of energy. The other thing you might want to think about is the levelized cost of energy. This means that over the life of the system, what is the price per kilowatt hour that you're paying for the generation of that energy? In contrast with what the utility is offering now, or maybe even 30 years from now. So if currently you're, let's say, simply speaking, you're paying 10 cents per kilowatt hour for generation costs for your business, what is going to be dividing your total system cost over its 30-year life? What is the generated cost or levelized cost of energy for that solar system in comparison to what you're paying right now? Typically, what we see with solar is that the levelized cost of energy is substantially lower over 30 years than even the energy price you're paying right now for your generated cost of energy, much less what we think the utility price might be 30 years from now. So levelized cost of energy, payback period, These are two of the most basic ways to think about metrics for evaluating financial return on your solar energy system. How can the capital depreciation of my commercial solar system benefit the payback and the financial return of that investment? In addition to the federal income tax credit of 30% for commercial solar systems, businesses can also depreciate the capital over a 5-year schedule. There is it depends on which year the system is installed, but there is a depreciation table of the full capital amount of that project cost in addition to a bonus depreciation in year 1, which is currently scheduled at 40%. And then that's the bonus depreciation in year 1. The remainder of that capital depreciation can happen over a 5-year table. This is very case specific depending on your particular tax liability, your tax bracket, your tax status. So you should always run this through an accountant to determine exactly how this depreciation schedule will affect your business's capital depreciation. But stacked on top of the 30% federal income tax credit, it has a significant effect on payback of the system. Often businesses can, between tax credit and depreciation, realize about half of the full project cost back as a tax savings within a 5-year period of time. What local or state incentives exist for commercial solar installation? The two biggest local and state incentives that exist currently are, first of all, the solar renewable energy credit market provided through the state. These are the acronym for solar renewable energy credits are SRECs, which are solar renewable energy credits that all utilities are required to be purchasers or off-takers of. Commercial businesses can sell these SRECs through an aggregator, a solar aggregator that installers often, we would help you set up that account. And for every megawatt hour that is generated, one SREC or one credit can be sold through the aggregator to these utility systems, to the utility off-takers. So the SRECs is a primary state-based incentive program. SRECs are a fluctuating commodity market, so the price is always changing, but these markets exist and provide significant incentive income for commercial solar systems. A second, more regional or local incentive is often utility rebate programs. A lot of utilities offer commercial rebate programs, usually attached to 1-year solar generation. Every utility is a little different, and these rebate programs are constantly changing. But one common model is that a utility may pay a certain amount of money for every kilowatt hour generated over the first year of system life. So if a system generates 100,000 kilowatt hours in year 1, if the utility is offering 8 cents per kilowatt hour, they will make a one-time payout at the end of the first year of generation for whatever generation amount that system has produced over that period of time. So SRECs and utility rebate programs are two major local and utility rebate and incentive programs that exist right now here in Pennsylvania. How does a solar investment compare to other investments that a business may make over an extended period of time? One significant benefit of solar is that it's providing a utility need that your business is going to be paying no matter what. Every business needs to be paying for electricity, paying for energy costs. These are usually fixed costs. No matter what, you're going to be paying these energy needs. Solar can help save that, however financed, whether making a cash payment or financing it over its system life or in a more accelerated period of time. The cost of electricity generated through solar always is lower than the grid. I don't want to say it quite like that. Let me start over that. How does a commercial solar system compare to other financial investments a business may make over an extended period of time? One of the key benefits of solar is that this is a cost you're offsetting that the business would absolutely be paying over the next 25 or 30 years regardless. Energy and electricity is one of the most fundamental fixed costs of any business operation, and solar can help reduce that cost. Over its extended life, the levelized cost of energy through a solar system is almost always significantly lower, however financed, than comparatively grid purchased, utility purchased generation of electricity. So it's a cost that the business will be paying distributed over its life. You are ultimately saving a lot of money through solar renewable energy generation as opposed to purchasing from the utility. The other benefit is the predictability of solar generation. We know these systems are extremely reliable, warranted, and we know very nearly exactly what they'll produce over 1 year and over 25 or 30 plus years of its life. So it's a very predictable return, unlike, say, investment in speculative public equity. You don't know the valuation of that over time. We know exactly how much these systems will generate over their life and what the value to you as a company is. And we also, with great certainty, can predict the forecasting of future electric prices not generated through your own solar system are going to be up, increasing significantly over the next 25, 30 years. What we don't know is, will the future cost of energy provided to you through the grid increase at 3% per year, 5% per year, or 15% per year? Obviously, the most conservative metrics, say a 3% escalation of the utility rate annually, still put solar at a much favorable purchasing price relative to the utility. If you say, I think energy prices are going to rise much faster than 3%, 8%, 7%, 10% over the next 25 years, as many would forecast, then it only accelerates the payback on solar, the savings that system will realize the business over 25 or 30 years, and the benefit to your company's bottom line. So solar, highly predictable. It is a fixed cost offset of something that your business would ultimately be paying for sure. And as many people predict and forecast the price of energy to increase over a period of time substantially, solar only accelerates and improves its payback the more you expect energy prices comparatively provided through the utility to increase over time.